Olá pessoal, bem-vindos a bordo mais uma vez. Aqui é o comandante Alex Pope, da Vector Aviation English, Escola de Inglês ICAO. Hoje, como eu prometi no último vídeo, eu vou estar falando sobre algumas das questões que são perguntadas no início da prova ICAO no que concerne a nossa vida pessoal. E dessa forma você vai estar podendo me conhecer um pouquinho melhor e ao mesmo tempo ter alguns exemplos sobre a prova ICAO e como devemos responder cada pergunta durante ela. Lembre-se que, como eu falei no vídeo anterior, não é tanto sobre o que a gente responde, é mais sobre como a gente responde, afinal isso é uma prova de inglês. Bom, é isso aí, vamos para a sala de aula e lá eu vou poder responder melhor algumas perguntas. Espero que vocês gostem. Bom, vamos lá pessoal, então agora eu vou exemplificar aí o começo da prova com as perguntas que são comumente feitas aos pilotos no que concerne a vida pessoal deles. Muitas vezes a primeira pergunta é: por que você decidiu virar um piloto? Então vamos lá. So Captain, why did you decide to become a pilot? Now in my case it's quite simple. I always wanted to be a pilot. It was always a dream of mine because both my grandfather and my father were pilots. So I had a lot of influence, a lot of family influence to become a pilot. I mean, I've been inside aircraft since very young age. I've been flying with my father from time to time when he had an empty flight that he could take me with him. And I've been, you know, around airports and aviation for all my life. So when I was old enough, I actually found a flight school and I decided to do all the courses, of course. So I did all the courses, the theoretical courses and the flight courses as well. And after getting enough experience and enough flight hours and enough ratings, I became a pilot. Another question that they ask a lot is a little bit more specific. They ask you about your past experiences as a pilot. Outra pergunta que eles fazem muito no começo da prova é sobre o seu histórico como piloto. Quais são os trabalhos que você já teve como piloto, aonde você já trabalhou e que tipo de voos você já fez. So let's go for this one. So what are your past experiences as a pilot? Or in my case, my past experiences as a pilot are basically in executive and general aviation. I flew a lot as an executive pilot and I also flew a little as a survey pilot. I have been flying Caravans, Carajas, I flew Comp Air 8, Malibu, Mirage, Cirrus, and some other ones that I probably flew less and I don't remember much. And also, of course, the airplanes from the flight school, like the Cessnas 152 especially. I guess these are my experiences. I have around 800 hours accumulated flight time. And I've been flying mostly in executive aviation. I flew all around Brazil as well. By the time that I was flying the Seneca, I used it to fly to the northeast every summer. And I also flew in the inner parts of São Paulo, Paraná, and the north region as well. Outra pergunta que eles fazem muito é sobre a sua preparação para voo. How do you like to prepare yourself for a flight? Como você percebeu, how do you like to prepare yourself for a flight? Então é a mim, como eu gosto de me preparar para um voo. Mas ele poderia perguntar, how do you like to prepare a flight? Então, são duas perguntas muito similares e que você pode responder elas simultaneamente, caso uma das perguntas seja feita a você, juntar as duas perguntas. Começa com a que foi com a resposta direta à pergunta e depois elabora um pouquinho mais sobre a outra. So in my case, the way I like to prepare myself for a flight is with as much anticipation as possible. Now, of course, that this will vary because in executive aviation especially, sometimes you don't have much time to prepare. So I usually like to maintain a good, healthy habit of practicing sports. I try to rest as much as possible. I try to be sleeping well, not only the night before, but as a habit for my whole life. Actually, I always try to sleep at least 8 hours a night. Especially if I know that I'm about to fly, I try to maintain healthy habits in terms of any kind of alcohol ingestion as well. And I think that's it. I think I also try to keep studying as much as possible and reading about aviation, about reports and news in aviation and airplanes and stuff like this. I guess that information is crucial for a good pilot, and a good pilot should keep studying as much as possible so he's always prepared. Now, in terms of preparing myself for a flight, in what it concerns the flight itself, you always have to plan the flight very carefully. If you've never been to the area, you probably want to talk to people who have done the flight before you, and you want to go and fetch as much information as possible regarding the area. So you want to check the charts, the METAR, you want to check the NOTAMs, and another thing that a pilot has to do before flying, of course, is checking all the documents on board. In executive aviation, the pilot has to do a lot of things like this. It's very important for you to do all this bureaucracy, or to check if it has been done by someone else, if you have some kind of company helping you out. So you're gonna end up having to do the bureaucracy as well for the passengers. Sometimes you're gonna have to do the catering yourself, and after that you have to do, before you board the aircraft, a walk around, and you have to inspect the aircraft parts and check if the airplane's condition is good enough for flying. And that being done, you have to board the aircraft and do the necessary procedures to start the engines, taxi, and just fly. Então é isso, pessoal. Hoje eu dei aí alguns exemplos de perguntas e respostas. Espero que vocês tenham gostado dos exemplos, tanto quanto de me conhecer um pouco melhor. E a gente se vê no próximo. Próximo vídeo eu vou tentar lançar o mais breve possível. Esse demorou um pouquinho, me desculpa, a semana foi um pouquinho atarefada. Então, nos vemos na próxima. Alex Pope, Vector Aviation English, Escola de Inglês e Cal, aqui no Rio de Janeiro. Study hard, fly safe.